Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. General Hospital spoilers. Sam's will reading changes everything, reveals stunning decisions and secret gifts. General Hospital, GH, spoilers reveal that Sam McCall's, Kelly Monaco, Dimas has sent shockwaves through Port Charles, so people are still trying to wrap their heads around the fact that she's gone. Christina Corinthos Davis, Kate Mansi, has been struggling with the knowledge that she'll never see Sam again, so it's been tough for her to carry on. Alexis Davis, Nancy Lee Grahn, Molly Lansing Davis, Kristen Vaginos, and Dante Falconeri, Dominic Zamprogna, are having a hard time finding a way forward as well. Of course, all of this has been the hardest on Scout Quartermain, Cosette Abinant, and Danny Morgan, Asher Antonizin. Although Alexis wants Sam's kids to live with her, is that really what Sam would have wanted? GH fans may soon find out for sure, since Sam left behind a last will and testament that'll ultimately be read. The show offered a glimpse of that folder in the November 11 episode, so it's good to know that Sam indeed had a will and was prepared. As a result, there will be a will reading that's bound to bring some surprises. In fact, it could change everything if Sam specifies her wishes about her children's future. Sam might have wanted Danny and Scout wanted to live with their dads in the event of her untimely passing, so that could sting for Alexis. Although Sam previously worried about Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, and all the danger that surrounded him, she mellowed about that shortly before the transplant. It's very possible that Sam made some adjustments to allow for her new attitude, since she knew there were risks going into all this. Sam never expected to perish unexpectedly in the hospital, but she had to be ready just in case. With that in mind, there could be some last-minute will changes that get revealed. Regardless, Sam may catch multiple Port Charles residents off guard once this will reading happens. There should be some parting gifts that Sam's family and friends didn't see coming. Will readings tend to come with some shockers on soaps, so we'll bring you more predictions on Sam's last wishes and how they'll affect those she cared about. General Hospital spoilers say Sam's document could unleash some conflict and bring some bittersweet presents as well. So stay tuned for updates on all the stunning news to come. In the dimly lit chapel of General Hospital, everyone sat in anxious silence, each person's mind racing with thoughts about Sam's last will and testament. The room was a mix of those closest to her, those she'd grown up with, and those who'd come to care for her, if not directly, then through the often tangled web of Port Charles. Few knew what Sam would reveal in her will, but they all sensed it wouldn't be the standard distribution of assets. This was Sam McCall. After all, her life had been anything but ordinary, and her legacy was bound to be just as complex. Alexis, Sam's mother, sat in the front row, her face stoic, although her hands trembled slightly as she clutched her purse. She'd survived countless crises, personal demons, and family betrayals. Yet this moment left her feeling unexpectedly vulnerable. To her left sat Danny and Scout, looking bewildered and heartbroken. They were too young to fully understand the gravity of what was happening, but their father, Jason, held them tightly. His jaw clenched in a way that suggested he was trying to be strong for them. Next to Jason sat Dante, an old friend and recent love interest of Sam's, who had carried a quiet flame for her since they began working together on cases. Beside him were Carly, Sonny, and a few other Port Charles residents whose lives Sam had touched over the years. The whole room was wrapped in a heavy silence, an emotional weight hanging over them all. Just as everyone began to wonder if the wait would stretch on indefinitely, Diane Miller, Sam's longtime lawyer and friend, stepped up to the podium. She carried a thick, leather-bound book in her arms, a fitting representation of the many secrets Sam had amassed over her lifetime. "Thank you all for coming," Diane began, her voice firm yet laden with a hint of sadness. Sam's instructions were very clear. She wished for everyone gathered here today to know precisely what her final wishes were. She spent much of her life looking out for the people she loved, and in death she wanted that care to continue. What you'll hear may surprise you, but remember that each decision was made with love and intention. She opened the book, taking a deep breath as she scanned the first page. First to my mother, Alexis, Diane Reed. Alexis's eyes filled with unshed tears as she waited to hear Sam's words. Mom, you've always tried to protect me, even when it was the hardest thing in the world. I know we haven't always agreed, but I wouldn't be who I am without you. I leave you my penthouse. It's a place where I built so many memories, and I hope you'll find some peace there. Alexis took a shaky breath, her hand covering her mouth. She hadn't expected Sam's home, of all things. A place that held the memories of Sam's chaotic life, but also moments of quiet joy. Diane turned the page, her gaze moving toward Jason. To Jason Morgan, she continued, her voice catching slightly, the father of my children, my partner in life, and in adventure. Jason, I leave you the necklace you once gave me, the one that held my luck through many dark times. I know it's just an object, but you were my anchor when I was lost. I'm entrusting it back to you because maybe you'll need it one day. And to Danny and Scout, I leave my accounts. I trust you to guide them, Jason, just as you guided me. Jason's eyes, usually so guarded, shimmered with emotion as he nodded, holding his children a bit tighter. Diane cleared her throat and continued reading. To Dante Falconeri, my friend, and so much more. You came into my life when I didn't know I needed you, and you showed me what it meant to live again. I leave you my motorcycle. I know how much you love that bike, she added, a faint smile playing on her lips, and I hope it gives you as much freedom as it gave me. Dante's expression softened, and he smiled through the emotions swirling in his chest. The bike was a symbol of their bond, one forged in adrenaline and trust. Then with a slight pause, Diane's tone shifted, as if bracing for a more intense reaction. To Carly Corinthos, she read, and a murmur rippled through the crowd. Carly's gaze narrowed, curiosity mingling with suspicion. Carly, you were a part of my life in more ways than I expected, and for that, I am both thankful and wary. A small laugh escaped some of the listeners, but Diane pressed on. I leave you a locked box. Inside, you'll find a letter explaining its contents, something that may surprise even you. Perhaps this is a part of me you never got to know. Carly looked intrigued, a slight smirk crossing her lips, as if she already had a plan in mind for when she could sneak away and open the box. As Diane turned another page, the room fell silent once more. This time, her gaze moved toward the back, where Spinelli sat, leaning forward with wide eyes, hanging on her every word. To Damian Spinelli, she read warmly, I leave all my research, my case files, my notes, the work that was unfinished, the mysteries unsolved. If anyone can see it through, it's you, Spinelli. You were my friend, my confidant, and the one person who understood the importance of the chase. Use it well. Spinelli's face lit up with a bittersweet smile as he wiped a tear away. Sam had trusted him to carry on her legacy in the one way he knew best. Diane's expression turned somber as she continued, finally, to the people of Port Charles, friends, allies, and yes, sometimes even enemies. I've left a donation to General Hospital in my name to fund a program for survivors, those who've endured trials that may never fully heal. It's a small thing, but maybe it will help someone the way you all helped me. The weight of Sam's legacy settled over the room, and Diane paused to look at the faces staring back at her. Each one reflected the impact Sam had left on their lives. But just as everyone thought the reading was over, Diane turned to the final page, her eyes widening. There is one more thing, she announced, her voice a bit shaky. Sam left a message for all of you. She pressed a button on a small recorder that she brought with her. Sam's voice filled the room, soft but unmistakably her. If you're hearing this, I guess I'm gone. It feels strange to imagine, but life has a way of surprising us, doesn't it? All I can say is thank you to each of you. In some way or another, you've shaped who I am, who I was, and I hope a part of me lives on in all of you. Take care of each other. Fight for what's right. And most importantly, never forget that you're not alone. The message ended, leaving everyone in a stunned, emotional silence. Tears filled the eyes of many, smiles broke through, and even Carly seemed taken aback by the depth of Sam's love and foresight. Diane closed the leather-bound book, her own eyes glistening. Sam may be gone, she said softly, but she made sure her spirit would never leave us. She lives on in each of you. As the attendees slowly made their way out of the chapel, each of them carried with them a piece of Sam's memory, knowing her legacy would continue shaping their lives in ways they hadn't expected, just as she'd always done in life.